Listen to me carefully, because this is not a message you stumbled upon by accident. This is about the house you're living in right now. Not just the walls you see with your eyes, but the atmosphere that surrounds your life, the unseen climate that governs your peace, your finances, your relationships, and your future. Many people think their problems come from outside, from the economy, from people, from circumstances. But I tell you with deep conviction, what is happening in your life is directly connected to what is happening inside the house you are living in. And when I say house, I am speaking about far more than bricks and cement. I am talking about the spiritual condition, the words spoken, the thoughts repeated, and the faith or fear that fills that space every single day. Some of you are living in houses where fear has been given permission to stay. Fear sits in the living room, fear sleeps in the bedroom, fear eats at the table. You wake up with it and go to sleep with it. And you wonder why your prayers feel heavy, why your joy feels distant, why peace seems like a stranger. It is because atmosphere is never neutral. Every house carries something. Every home releases something. Every space responds to what is spoken within it. God created the world with words, and words still create worlds today inside your house. I want you to understand something deeply. God does not move where He is merely invited. He moves where He is honored. And honor is not a feeling. It is an environment. You can say you believe in God, but if your house is filled with constant complaint, anger, bitterness, hopeless talk, and doubt, that house is not aligned with faith. Faith is not silent. Faith speaks. Faith declares. Faith shapes the unseen before it ever appears in the seen. And if your house has been shaped by worry, then worry will keep reproducing itself. Many people are asking God to change their lives, but they are unwilling to change their environment. They want a new future while living in the same spiritual condition. They pray for blessing but tolerate chaos. They ask for peace but entertain conflict. God is a God of order, and order begins in the house. Before He blesses a nation, He blesses a family. Before He transforms a city, He transforms a home. Before He changes your circumstances, He addresses your environment. Some of you are living in houses where arguments have become normal. Harsh words are spoken without restraint. Silence is used as punishment. Love is replaced with control. And then you wonder why your prayers feel blocked. Hear me clearly. Your house is either a gate or a wall. It either allows heaven's influence to flow or it blocks it completely. God's presence does not dwell where hatred is entertained. His peace does not remain where resentment is protected, and His favor does not rest where faith is mocked. I am not here to condemn you. I am here to awaken you, because the house you are living in can change. Atmospheres can shift. Environments can be redeemed. What was once filled with darkness can be flooded with light when God is given rightful authority. But that authority begins with you. You are the gatekeeper of your house. You decide what stays and what leaves. You decide what is spoken and what is silenced. You decide whether your house will be ruled by fear or governed by faith. There are houses where sickness lingers, not because God desires it, but because hopelessness has been allowed to settle in. There are houses where poverty repeats itself generation after generation, not because God withholds provision, but because defeat has been normalized. There are houses where joy has vanished, not because life is cruel, but because gratitude has been forgotten. God is not distant from these homes. He is waiting for alignment. He is waiting for invitation to obedience, humility, and faith-filled action. Your house hears everything. The walls absorb your words. The air carries your declarations. When you speak death, death listens. When you speak fear, fear responds. But when you speak faith, faith awakens. When you speak God's promises, heaven takes notice. Do not underestimate the power of what you say inside your home. Do not dismiss the influence of daily conversations. Repeated words become permanent conditions. Some of you grew up in houses where negativity was normal. You were taught to expect disappointment. You learned to prepare for loss. You inherited fear like furniture passed down from one generation to the next. But hear me, inheritance can be broken. Patterns can be stopped. Cycles can end with you. Your house does not have to mirror your past. It can reflect God's purpose instead. God desires your house to be a place of peace, not pressure. A place of faith, not fear. A place of gratitude, not grumbling. A place where His presence is welcomed, not resisted. And His presence changes everything. When God is honored in a house, confusion leaves. When God is lifted up, division weakens. When God is acknowledged, provision flows. Some of you clean your houses every day, but you have never cleansed the atmosphere. You arrange furniture, but ignore bitterness. You decorate walls, but tolerate anger. You invest money in repairs, but neglect prayer. Physical order cannot compensate for spiritual disorder. God looks beyond appearance. He examines the condition of the heart, and the house reflects the heart. I want you to imagine what would happen if your house became a place where God's name is spoken with reverence, where gratitude is expressed daily, where faith-filled words replace complaints, where forgiveness is practiced quickly, where hope is protected fiercely. That house would not just shelter you, it would empower you. It would become a sanctuary, a place of renewal, a wellspring of strength. Some of you are carrying heavy burdens because your house has become a battlefield. But it was never meant to be that way. Your home was designed to be a place of rest, not warfare. And if there has been warfare, it is because the enemy knows the power of a house aligned with God. He knows that when a home is surrendered, generations can be transformed. Do not wait for others to change first. Revival in a house begins with one willing heart. One voice of faith can shift an entire atmosphere. One decision to honor God can open doors that have been closed for years. One act of obedience can realign what has been broken. I speak to those who feel trapped in homes filled with tension. I speak to those who feel unheard, unseen, and exhausted. God sees you. God hears you. God is not powerless in your situation, but He is calling you to take responsibility for what you allow to dwell in your space. You cannot control everything, but you can control what you agree with, and agreement is powerful. Agree with fear, and fear will grow. Agree with doubt, and doubt will dominate. But agree with God, and His power will manifest. Agreement is the doorway through which influence enters. Choose carefully what you allow to shape your house. Some of you think your house is too broken, too damaged, too far gone. But nothing is beyond God's ability to restore. He specializes in impossible environments. He turns dry places into living spaces. He brings order where chaos ruled. He brings light where darkness lingered. But He does not force Himself. He waits to be welcomed. Your house can become a place where prayers are answered, where children feel safe, where peace reigns, where hope is renewed daily. But it will not happen by accident. It happens by intention, by daily choices, by consistent faith, by honoring God not just with words but with atmosphere. There are houses where God is spoken about but never consulted, where His name is mentioned but His authority is ignored. That is not faith, that is familiarity. And familiarity dulls reverence. Reverence invites power. When God is truly honored, transformation follows. I challenge you today to examine the house you are living in. Listen to the words spoken there. Observe the emotions that dominate. Feel the atmosphere when you walk through the door. Does it lift you or drain you? Does it inspire faith or reinforce fear? Does it reflect God's peace or the world's anxiety? Change begins with awareness. Transformation begins with humility. Restoration begins with surrender. And when a house is surrendered to God, heaven responds. You do not need more space. You need more alignment. You do not need a different address. You need a different atmosphere. You do not need to escape your house. You need to redeem it. Your house can become a testimony, a place where others feel peace the moment they enter, a place where burdens feel lighter, a place where hope is tangible. That is not imagination. That is the result of God's presence. I speak this with authority. The condition of your house will either limit you or launch you. It will either confine you or propel you. Choose wisely, align intentionally, speak life consistently, honor God completely, because when God is honored in a house, that house becomes more than a dwelling. It becomes a dwelling place for purpose, peace, and power, and the influence of that house will extend far beyond its walls, touching futures, shaping destinies, and rewriting stories that once seemed fixed. As faith replaces fear, light overcomes darkness, and God's order establishes it. Self, where chaos once ruled, transforming not only the house you live in, but the life you are becoming. There is a reason God begins His work with foundations. Before anything rises, something must be set firmly in place. And the first foundation of your life is your house. Not the address written on paper, but the spiritual ground on which your days are built. Many people want elevation without excavation. They want God to lift them while ignoring what is unstable beneath them. But God is not impressed by height if the foundation is cracked. He strengthens the base before He expands the blessing, and your house is that base. Some of you are wondering why progress feels slow, why every step forward is followed by 2 steps back. It is because instability inside the house produces instability in life. When confusion rules the home, clarity struggles to survive outside. When faith is absent in private, power weakens in public. God works from the inside out, never the other way around. He does not decorate lives, He rebuilds them. I want you to see this clearly. Your house is the first altar of your life. Long before public prayers, before visible success, before recognition, God looks at what happens behind closed doors. He listens to conversations no one else hears. He observes attitudes no one else sees. And it is there, in that hidden place, that futures are decided. If your private environment contradicts your public prayers, there will always be resistance. There are people who pray for protection, yet their houses are filled with hostility. They pray for unity, yet their homes are divided by pride. They pray for provision, yet gratitude is absent. God is not mocked by words. He responds to alignment. Heaven moves when the environment matches the request. When your house agrees with your prayer, power flows without struggle. Understand this truth deeply. God's presence is not fragile, but it is selective. He does not dwell where He is dishonored. He does not remain where bitterness is cherished. He does not rule where control replaces trust. When a house refuses humility, peace quietly withdraws. When forgiveness is delayed, joy diminishes. These are not punishments. They are consequences of misalignment. Some houses are heavy not because of lack, but because of unresolved wounds. Pain that was never healed has been given a permanent room. Past failures sit like permanent guests. Regret whispers at night, and slowly hope suffocates. But God is a healer of atmospheres, not just individuals. When truth is welcomed, lies lose power. When light is allowed, darkness has no argument. Healing begins the moment honesty replaces denial. Your house reflects what you believe about God more than what you say about Him. If fear dominates, it reveals a belief that God is distant. If anxiety rules, it reveals a belief that control is necessary. If anger thrives, it reveals a belief that justice must be self-managed. But when trust fills a house, it reveals faith in God's sovereignty. When peace reigns, it reveals confidence in His care. When generosity flows, it reveals belief in His provision. God desires to reign, not visit. He is not looking for occasional acknowledgement. He seeks authority. And authority is demonstrated by obedience. When a house chooses truth over comfort, God establishes Himself there. When a home chooses faith over familiarity, heaven responds. Authority is not emotional, it is positional. When God is placed first, everything else finds its proper place. Some of you have been asking God to remove storms from your lives, but storms reveal the strength of foundations. Instead of asking for escape, ask for establishment. Instead of praying for easier conditions, pray for stronger alignment. A house aligned with G. OD does not collapse under pressure. It becomes a refuge in it. Others will find shelter in what once struggled to stand. Your house has influence beyond your awareness. Children absorb atmospheres before they understand words. Relationships are shaped by tone long before conversation. Peace or tension becomes normal depending on what is practiced daily. You are teaching without speaking. You are modeling without realizing. And God holds great value in what you are building, because what you allow today becomes inheritance tomorrow. Do not underestimate the power of daily consistency. One prayer spoken regularly carries more weight than 1,000 spoken occasionally. One word of gratitude repeated daily reshapes perspective. One act of humility practiced consistently realigns authority. God works through patterns, not impulses. He honors faithfulness, not emotional intensity. There are houses where success enters but cannot stay. Money comes and leaves. Opportunities appear and vanish. Relationships begin and end. This happens when order is absent. Blessing without structure creates instability. God gives increase to those who can sustain it. And sustainability begins with discipline, integrity, and reverence within the house. Your house does not need perfection. It needs direction. God is not searching for flawless people, but for surrendered ones. When a house turns toward Him, even imperfectly, transformation begins. Grace flows where humility lives. Strength grows where dependence is acknowledged. God resists pride but supports surrender. Some of you feel the weight of responsibility, thinking everything depends on you. That burden was never meant to be carried alone. When God is given rightful authority, pressure lifts, control relaxes, trust replaces striving. A house governed by trust rests even when circumstances are uncertain. Rest does not mean inactivity. It means confidence. Confidence that God is at work even when you cannot see immediate results. Confidence that obedience is never wasted. Confidence that alignment will produce fruit in its season. A restless house is often a sign of misplaced responsibility. When God is trusted, rest returns. Your words are shaping tomorrow's reality. What you declare today becomes tomorrow's atmosphere. Speak life deliberately. Speak truth intentionally. Speak hope consistently. Silence fear. Refuse negativity. Not because denial helps, but because faith governs. Faith does not ignore reality, it transforms it. Some of you are waiting for everyone else in your house to change before you change. But leadership begins with example, not agreement. One aligned heart can shift an entire home. One voice of faith can quiet a room of doubt. One decision to honor God can realign generations. Do not delay obedience waiting for comfort. Obedience often feels uncomfortable before it becomes rewarding. God stretches before He strengthens. He exposes before He heals. He removes before He replaces. Trust the process, because the process protects the promise. Your house can become a place where God's peace settles so deeply that anxiety loses its grip. A place where faith speaks louder than fear. A place where gratitude rewrites perspective. A place where love is practiced intentionally, not assumed. That transformation begins with awareness and continues with discipline. This is not about religious routine. This is about spiritual authority. Authority comes from alignment, not repetition. God responds to hearts that honor Him in truth. When truth governs a house, deception has no foothold. When humility leads, pride dissolves. You are not powerless in your environment. You are positioned. You are entrusted. You are responsible. And God has equipped you with everything necessary to steer. Ward the atmosphere of your house. Choose wisely. Act intentionally. Honor consistently. Because the house you are living in today is shaping the life you will live tomorrow. And when that house is aligned with God, every room begins to reflect His order, His peace, His provision, His wisdom, His protection, and His purpose unfolding layer by layer, day by day, until what once felt heavy becomes light, what once felt chaotic becomes calm, what once felt broken becomes established, and what once felt ordinary becomes a place where God's presence is unmistakably recognized and deeply respected, influencing every step you take, every decision you make, and every future you step into without hesitation or fear. Now I ask you to pause and look honestly at your life, not with judgment, but with courage. Look at the house you are living in, the atmosphere you wake up to, the words that shape your mornings and follow you into the night. Ask yourself whether God is merely acknowledged there or truly honored. Ask yourself whether fear has been speaking louder than faith, whether comfort has replaced obedience, whether routine has dulled reverence. This moment is not for guilt, it is for awakening. God is not waiting to condemn you, He is waiting to restore alignment. Do not underestimate the power of one sincere decision made in humility. When a heart turns fully toward God, heaven responds immediately. You may not see everything change at once, but something shifts in the unseen that cannot be reversed. Strength enters where weakness lived. Clarity replaces confusion. Peace begins to rise quietly but firmly. God does not rush His work, but He is never late, and He never ignores a surrendered heart. I challenge you now to take responsibility for your inner world and your living space, to become intentional about what you allow, what you tolerate, and what you declare. Let our house become a place where gratitude is spoken freely, where forgiveness is practiced quickly, where truth is valued more than pride, and where trust in God governs decisions both small and great. Let your life reflect reverence, not just in moments of prayer, but in daily conduct, quiet choices, and unseen faithfulness. Step away from excuses that keep you comfortable but stagnant. Release the belief that change must begin with someone else. God is calling you personally and directly to rise into alignment. When you choose obedience over habit, faith over fear, and truth over convenience, you position yourself under divine order. And under divine order, nothing is wasted. Every tear, every effort, every sacrifice becomes seed. Let this be the moment you stop surviving and start stewarding. Steward your words, steward your thoughts, steward your home, steward the authority God has entrusted to you. Walk forward with confidence, not because circumstances are perfect, but because God is faithful. Let your life become a testimony of what happens when a person decides to honor God fully, not partially, not occasionally, but completely. May your house become a place of peace that calms storms rather than absorbs them, a place of faith that speaks life into uncertainty, a place where God's presence is not questioned but felt, not debated but reflected. Stand firm, walk humbly, speak boldly, and live with purpose, knowing that when your life is aligned with God, nothing is random, nothing is meaningless, and everything begins to move with clarity, strength, and unshakable hope that anchors your soul and defines the path before you. There are moments in life when you feel something shifting around you, even before anything changes in the physical world. It is as if the air itself carries a message, a stirring, a silent announcement that God is preparing something unusual, something extraordinary, something that does not follow the normal rules or patterns you have known. And right now, as you listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to understand with unshakable certainty that unexpected funds from God are beginning to locate you. This is not wishful thinking. This is not a shallow hope. This is a divine movement, a spiritual arrangement unfolding around your life, because God has seen your struggle, your patience, your endurance, and the quiet battles you never told anyone about. You may think you are simply listening to a speech, but I tell you, this is a moment of divine interruption. God is stepping into the timeline of your life to reposition what belongs to you. There are blessings, resources, opportunities, financial breakthroughs, and unexpected provisions that have been circulating in the spiritual realm, waiting for the right moment to manifest. That moment is beginning now. When God declares a release, no force on earth can delay it. When God commands a blessing to move towards you, it does not wander, it does not get confused, it does not lose direction, it locates you with precision, because what God sends cannot miss its destination. Some of you have been living under the pressure of not enough, pressures that squeeze the mind, tighten the chest, and steal sleep in the quiet hours of the night. You have carried responsibilities that feel heavier than what a single person should carry. You have smiled on the outside while feeling the weight of financial storms on the inside. And yet, through all of this, you did not break. You did not give up. You did not turn away from God. You held on even when the ground beneath you felt weak. That endurance is not unnoticed. God has seen every moment you pushed through, every hour you held on by a thread, every time you chose faith over fear. And now a divine compensation is on its way to you. There are funds you did not work for, resources you did not ask for, blessings you did not even imagine that God is aligning with your name right now. God does not need a salary to bless you. God does not need a job promotion to lift you. God does not need a human being to approve you, validate you, or recommend you. When God decides to provide, He provides in ways that remove every doubt about who your source truly is. Some will ask you how this happened. Some will wonder how you came out of what should have broken you. Some will try to understand how everything suddenly shifted in your favor, but they will not be able to explain it, because what is coming to you is divine, unusual, and completely beyond human calculation. You see, unexpected funds from God are not ordinary funds. They are not limited by the systems of this world. They do not follow the timelines of governments or the schedules of employers. These funds are born from the will of God. And when God sends something born from His will, nothing can stop it. Even now, there are doors unlocking in places you have never been. There are people discussing your name in rooms you have never entered. There are opportunities forming in environments you have not yet seen. What God is preparing is bigger than what your mind has considered. It is greater than what your expectations have allowed. You are stepping into a season where what reaches you will not match the effort you put in. It will match the grace that covers you. There were seasons when you felt forgotten, overlooked, or hidden behind layers of struggle, but I tell you now, God does not forget the faithful. God does not overlook the humble. God does not abandon the one who trusts in Him, even when the evidence is not visible. Some of you have been faithful in silence. You prayed when no one knew you were praying. You believed when no one saw the tears you wiped away. You held on to God when every logical reason told you to let go. And it is because of that hidden faithfulness that unexpected funds are being assigned to your life right now. Funds that will lift you, restore you, and establish you. This is the moment where the invisible hand of God begins to move. You may not see it yet, but you will soon feel it. Like the first shift of wind before a storm, like the first light before sunrise. God often moves quietly before He moves visibly. And right now, His quiet movement is surrounding your home, your finances, your work, your future. You do not need to understand how. You only need to open your heart to believe that God is orchestrating something that carries your name on it. Something you could not have earned. Something you could not have predicted. something you could not have manufactured, something that only God could send. You will not be the same after this. You will not remain in the place of lack or survival. You are stepping into a realm where divine provision becomes your new normal. There will come a time very soon when you will look back at today and realize this was the moment God began, shifting your life into a new financial dimension. A dimension where unexpected funds are not an event, but a pattern. Where breakthroughs are not a surprise, but a lifestyle. Where provision does not feel like a struggle, but a natural outcome of God's hand upon you. And make no mistake, God does not release unexpected funds just to give you temporary relief. He releases them to reposition your entire life, to lift you into a place where you no longer fear the future, where you no longer worry about tomorrow, where you no longer live under the pressure of impossibilities. God is preparing you for overflow, not just survival. He is preparing you for abundance, not just stability. He is preparing you for increase that transforms the way you think, the way you plan, the way you dream. There is a spiritual law that cannot be broken. When God begins a release, the release does not stop until it reaches its assignment. And right now, you are the assignment. You are the destination of what heaven has already approved. There are blessings that have been held back, not because you were denied, but because God was preparing the perfect moment to reveal His power in your life. That moment is opening before you now. You are no longer standing in the place of waiting. You are stepping into the place of receiving. The delay you experienced was not a denial. It was divine timing, aligning everything so that when the blessing arrives, it leaves no doubt that it came from God. Many people look at their lives and wonder why certain things took so long. They question why they had to go through seasons of wilderness, seasons where everything seemed to shrink instead of grow. But you must understand this: God never wastes a season. Every moment of your past was shaping you for the arrival of unexpected funds that would not only lift you financially, but reveal the depth of God's care for you. If the blessing had come earlier, you might not have recognized its significance. But now, after all you have walked through, you will not only receive the blessing, you will value it, protect it, and use it with wisdom that comes from knowing what it is like to live without it. Some of you have been in battles that never made sense. You faced attacks that seemed disproportionate to your circumstances. You went through financial pressure that pushed you to the edge of what your mind could handle. You fought through disappointments that should have broken you. But the reason the battle was so intense is because of the size of the blessing God has prepared for you. The enemy always fights hardest when you are closest to breakthrough. The pressure always increases before the release. The night always feels darkest before the light rises. And right now, you are standing on the edge of financial transformation so significant that it required every ounce of strength you developed in the struggle. Unexpected funds from God are not just money. They are divine resources assigned to shift your destiny. They will come in forms you did not anticipate. You will receive opportunities that open streams of income you never thought possible. You will encounter people who carry keys to doors you could not open on your own. You will be positioned in environments where favor surrounds you like a shield. God will send ideas that unlock provision. God will create alignments that elevate you. God will cause even what seemed against you to turn and work for your advantage. There are funds moving toward you that you did not even know existed. Funds trapped in the system, waiting for someone with your assignment. Funds sitting in accounts waiting to be transferred. Funds tied to opportunities that were delayed but not denied. Funds connected to your name even in places you have never been. God is not limited by geography. God is not limited by human decisions. God is not limited by economic conditions. When God marks you for provision, the entire universe bends to accommodate His command. And hear this clearly. You will not have to beg for what God is sending. You will not have to chase it. You will not have to fight for acceptance or struggle for validation. You will stand still in your faith, and the blessing will come toward you on its own. It will track you, locate you, and attach itself to your life because God has assigned it to you. This is not the season of you running after opportunities. This is the season of opportunities running after you. Not because you are lucky, but because you are aligned. Not because of chance, but because of divine appointment. You have spent years carrying burdens silently. Others looked at you and saw strength, but they did not see the internal battles you fought. They praised your resilience, but did not understand how close you came to breaking. They admired your calmness, but did not know the storms that raged in your heart. But God saw it all. God saw every tear, every silent prayer, every moment you pushed through when you had nothing left. And now God is sending compensation. Not the kind that simply replaces what you lost, but the kind that multiplies, elevates, and transforms. Unexpected funds from God are coming not only to restore what you lost, but to surpass what you ever had. God does not return blessings in the same measure that they were taken. He returns them in overflow. There is an increase attached to your name. There is abundance attached to your future. There is provision attached to your next step, and it is coming faster than you think. God is shifting you into a place where resources will meet you at the point of need, where doors will open before you knock, where opportunities will appear or you ask, where provision will arrive before worry even has time to rise. There is something happening around your life right now, something invisible to the natural eye, but undeniable in the spiritual realm. God is rearranging circumstances. God is touching hearts. God is moving minds. God is aligning conditions. What you are about to walk into has already been prepared. The blessing you are about to see has already been approved. The funds you are about to receive have already been released. Time is the only thing catching up to what God has set in motion. You may feel like nothing has changed yet, but the truth is that everything has already changed. You are stepping into a season when the right people begin to appear without you searching for them. When new paths unfold without you forcing them. When breakthroughs arise without you struggling for them. When money flows in ways that you cannot logically explain. This is not coincidence. This is God's orchestration. God is turning your life into a testimony of what divine provision looks like. Even now, I sense that some of you have been carrying a quiet fear. Fear of the future, fear of not having enough, fear of unexpected expenses, fear of being overwhelmed. But I tell you today, fear will not follow you into the next season. God is breaking the spirit of lack from your life. God is dismantling the chains of financial fear. God is removing the anxiety of how will I make it, and replacing it with the confidence of God will provide for me. You will no longer live with the weight of uncertainty. You will walk with the assurance that God has already prepared what you need long before you need it. God has unexpected funds scheduled for your life. Funds that will come at the perfect time. Funds that will come from unexpected places. Funds that will arrive in unexpected measures. These funds are not random. They are divine answers to prayers you prayed in moments of desperation. Even prayers you forgot you prayed. Nothing is lost with God. Every request, every cry, every whisper was heard. And now the answers are arriving. You are entering a season where you will no longer worry about how things will work out. You will witness provision so consistent, so undeniable, so precise that it will transform the way you think, the way you plan, the way you expect. God is about to make your life a living example of what happens when divine resources locate a person who has kept their faith alive despite hardship. There comes a moment in every person's life when the unseen becomes undeniable, You may not have noticed any physical sign yet, but spiritually, the atmosphere around you is shifting. What used to be blocked is now opening. What once resisted you is now releasing. What seemed impossible is now aligning. When God decides to move, there is no warning sign, no announcement, no gradual signal. He simply begins. And the beginning is happening right now in ways you cannot see, but will soon experience. Some of the funds that are coming to you were delayed by circumstances, by decisions of others, by bureaucracy, by systems, by human limitation. But nothing can permanently block what God has ordained. Delays do not cancel destiny. Closed doors do not cancel purpose. Slow seasons do not cancel future abundance. God has a way of bypassing every obstacle that once stood in your path. He does not adjust His plan base. On the resistance you faced, He fulfills His plan in spite of it. You are not stepping into a season of small blessings. What is locating you is not minor, not ordinary, not something that simply pays a few bills or gives temporary relief. What is coming is transformational. It will change the landscape of your life, your decisions, your stability, your confidence, your opportunities. God is sending funds that lift you into a higher dimension, funds that break generational patterns, funds that remove the burden of financial anxiety that has been hanging over you for years. Many people think financial blessing is only about money, but what God is sending is much deeper. These unexpected funds come with purpose. They come with assignment. They come with spiritual significance. God is not releasing these funds just to change your bank balance. He's releasing them to change your destiny. When God provides, He always connects provision with purpose. Every divine blessing carries an instruction, a direction, a calling, and as these funds locate you, you will begin to see with clarity what God has been preparing you for all along. Some of you have dreams that have been sleeping because lack has kept them silent. Visions that have been delayed because resources were not available. Ideas that have been trapped inside you because the means to build them were missing. But God is saying, this is the season where what I placed inside you will no longer be held back by lack. You were never meant to live a life where your purpose is controlled by your bank account. You were meant to operate from divine supply, from heavenly provision, from spiritual abundance. And now God is activating what has been dormant within you by sending the resources needed to bring it to life. Every time you felt like quitting, every time you fought back tears, every time you looked at your situation and wondered if things would ever change, those moments were preparing the soil of your life for the seed that God is now planting. And this seed is not small. This seed is destined to grow into something that impacts far more than just you. God is making you a vessel of blessing, a channel of provision, a carrier of abundance. You will not only receive, you will distribute. You will not only be lifted, you will lift others. You will not only rise, you will become a source of strength for those who once thought rising was impossible. Unexpected funds from God are coming to break cycles. Cycles of scarcity, cycles of limitation, cycles of always having enough to survive, but never enough to advance. That cycle ends with you. You are stepping into a season where resources will no longer be a barrier. You will think freely, dream freely, plan freely, move freely. The restrictions of yesterday will not follow you into tomorrow. God is cutting every spiritual chain that tried to tie you to lack. There is a powerful truth you must understand when God decides to bless a person financially. He does not start with money. He starts by strengthening the person. The pressure you endured, the storms you survived, the endurance you built, these were not signs of God abandoning you. They were signs of God preparing you. You are being positioned not just to receive abundance, but to carry it with wisdom, purpose, and clarity. God is not only about to add to your life, He is about to enlarge you internally so that what comes will not overwhelm you, but empower you. There are people who thought you had reached your limit. There were moments when even you thought you had reached your limit. But God does not measure your capacity by your circumstances. He measures it by the purpose He placed inside you. And that purpose is too great for you to remain where you are. That purpose is too large for you to live in the confines of smallness. That purpose is too significant for financial limitation to keep holding you hostage. God is breaking that limitation now. And the sign of that break will be the arrival of unexpected funds that shift your entire reality. These funds will confirm that God has not forgotten you. They will confirm that your faith was not wasted. They will confirm that your tears were seen. They will confirm your patience was building something powerful inside you. They will confirm that your struggle was not a punishment. It was preparation. Every sacrifice you made, every moment you endured, every decision you took that required strength you didn't think you had, all of it was shaping you for this moment of divine visitation. There are seasons when God whispers, and there are seasons when God announces Himself through undeniable action. You are entering the second kind. You are entering a season where God reveals His power in such a way that even you will be surprised by how quickly everything changes. You will look at situations that once seemed permanent and watch them dissolve before your eyes. You will see debts cleared, needs met, opportunities unlocked, and doors opened in ways that do not match your effort. They match God's power. You are being lifted into a realm where provision meets you with ease. Not because life becomes perfect, but because God becomes your visible source. You will begin to see patterns of blessing that do not make sense logically. Just when you think nothing else can happen, God will do something even greater. Just when you believe you have reached a height of favor, God will reveal another level. Just when you feel grateful for one breakthrough, God will send another. In this moment, as you stand at the edge of a new chapter God has prepared for you, I want you to feel the weight of this truth settle near your spirit. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were created with intention, designed with purpose, and shaped through every season to become someone who carries the evidence of God's greatness. You are not here by accident. You are not breathing because of coincidence. You are here because God still has something powerful to release through you. But for you to step into what God has already prepared, you must make a decision today, right now, to rise above the distractions that weaken your spirit and step boldly into a life aligned with God's guidance. This is a call for you to examine not what you have, but who you are becoming. A call to look deeply at the thoughts you entertain, the habits you carry, the people you allow into your atmosphere, and ask yourself if these things are helping you walk toward the life God has assigned to you or pulling you away from it. You cannot step into divine abundance while holding on to the mindset of scarcity. You cannot walk into God's overflow while clinging to fear, doubt, or hesitation. This is the moment to challenge yourself, to ask whether you have allowed your circumstances to shape your faith instead of allowing your faith to shape your circumstances. God has already gone ahead of you, already prepared the way, already released what you need, but you must rise to meet what He has sent. You must choose to let go of the old beliefs that tell you you're not enough, the old patterns that keep you small, the old fears that whisper limits where God has spoken possibility. You have endured too much, survived too much, prayed too much, grown too much to remain the same. Let this be the moment you return fully to the strength you know comes only from walking closely with God. Not a distant walk, not a half-hearted connection, but a life where every decision, every step, every dream is saturated with the Awareen. God is guiding you. When you align yourself with God intentionally, you begin to see opportunities differently. You begin to hear instructions more clearly. You begin to feel direction where there was once confusion. You begin to step into the flow of provision that God designed you to experience. But that alignment requires your willingness to trust God beyond what your eyes can see, to honor God beyond what convenience allows, to choose faith even when circumstances give you reasons to doubt. Search your heart now and ask yourself what you need to surrender, what you need to release, what you need to walk away from, so you can walk fully into the life God has for you. God is waiting for you to make room for clarity, for purpose, for provision, for the unexpected funds and blessings prepared for you. But the room must be created intentionally. Your spirit must become a place where doubt cannot thrive, where fear cannot grow, where negativity cannot survive. You must become someone who moves with conviction, who speaks with confidence, who prays with expectation, who acts with boldness because you know God is with you. This is your moment to rise, your moment to decide that you will no longer live beneath the level God created you for. Your moment to step out of survival and walk into purpose. Your moment to refuse the limitations of yesterday and embrace the possibilities of today. You are being called to elevate your mindset, strengthen your faith, discipline your heart, and walk with the assurance that God's hand is upon your life. You are being called to build a life that reflects the greatness God placed within you. You are being called to become the version of yourself that fear tried to destroy, that doubt tried to silence, that hardship tried to weaken. Walk closer to God, not because life is perfect, but because life becomes powerful when God is your guide. Walk closer to God, not because you are without weakness, but because God strengthens what you surrender. Walk closer to God, not because the path is always clear, but because God lights the path step by step when you trust Him. If you take that step today, if you commit your thoughts, your habits, your decisions, your future to God, you will watch the very atmosphere around your life shift in ways you cannot deny. Let your heart awaken to the truth that you are destined for more. Let your spirit rise with the certainty that God is not finished with you. Let your mind be renewed with the knowing that every blessing, every opportunity, every provision that has been circling your life is now ready to manifest. God has already chosen you. God has already prepared you. God has already positioned you. Now choose to walk in alignment with Him so that everything He has released can find its place in your life. Stand in this moment with courage. Stand with clarity. Stand with expectation. And step forward with a heart fully surrendered, a mind fully renewed, and a spirit fully awakened. Because when you walk closely with God, you do not chase blessings. Blessings chase you. When you honor God with your life, your decisions, your integrity, your focus, your purpose, you open a doorway for divine provision to flow in ways that transform everything you touch. Let this be the day you rise into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Let this be the day you choose purpose over comfort, alignment over fear, faith over doubt. Let this be the day you declare with conviction that your steps will follow God, your heart will pursue God, and your life will reflect the greatness that comes from trusting God completely. For when you walk with God, nothing missing, nothing wasted, nothing delayed can hold you back from the destiny that was written for you long before you ever faced your first struggle. This is your call to rise, your call to align, your call to walk forward with strength. The future God has prepared for you is greater than anything behind you. Step into it boldly. Step into it faithfully. Step into it knowing that God is with you, God is guiding you, and God is leading you into a life that will become a testimony of what faith, courage, and surrender can unlock. Let these words settle into your spirit, shape your decisions, and awaken you to the reality that your next chapter begins with the step you take today. Closer to God, stronger in purpose, and ready for everything He has prepared for you.